Hello and welcome to How to Play Wisdom 369 Rummy, presented by Numbering the Days channel. This is a brand new form of a rummy game. It's fun for both adults and kids 8 and older. It's challenging and exercises those brain muscles. It's inspired by our research into the ancient language of the scriptures and the math of nature and all of creation. Please consider, we are not a professional game company, but sharing a homegrown video on the game we developed. Now let's dive into how to get this rummy game going. I will be showing you an actual hand of cards for 2 players from start to finish. Then cover the details of scoring each hand and winning the game. The game is played with 2 to 8 players, and this chart on the screen will show you how many decks of cards you're going to need. Wisdom 369 Rummy's melds are very different from other rummy games. In this game, the 3, 6, and 9 represent the meld values and the piles that the melds are placed into in front of each player, as I will demonstrate in a moment. A player cannot discard their last card to end the hand and count their points until they have a meld with a value of 3, 6, and 9 laid down in front of them. In order to go out of cards, you must have a minimum of 1 meld in each of these positions. The value of each meld is computed based upon Marko Rodin's vortext math, and the reducing of the values of all the numbers into a single digit 1 through 9. If you want to know more about the math demonstrated in this video, be sure to watch until the end or go to the shop and purchase the inexpensive scoring sheets with the background, detailed instructions, and information on this game. This is a quick chart I'm showing you on the screen, the basics of the math and the values of the cards. It is very different from a traditional rummy game. The value of the 3 or 4 cards in the meld is added together and then reduced to a single digit. This single digit must be 3, 6, or 9, and the meld is laid into the pile corresponding to its value. Now let's go through an entire hand so you can see and understand this in the demonstration. To start the game, first take a stash of coins, pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, whatever you have, and place in a pile to the side of your table, and call this the bank. All coins are of equal value for this game. Each player receives 1 coin from the bank before the game starts. The coins are used similar to the get-out-of-jail-free card in Monopoly. If a player's scores is negative, usually when you're left holding several face cards at the end of the hand, they can return their coin to the bank, and their score is 0 points for that hand. Now, the beginning level of this game can fluctuate 100, 200, 300 points at a time, and this is a buffer to help absorb a negative hand while you are learning the math and the strategies. Next thing, all players must determine who will be the first dealer. So shuffle the deck, keep the cards face down, and every player draws 1 card. The highest value card is the first dealer. Write down the names of the players on the score sheet. Each hand, write down the name of the dealer as shown. So player 1 now deals 9 cards and turns over the top card of the stock to the discard pile. For this video, all cards are flipped over so you can see them, but normally players keep their cards in their hands hidden from each other. The player sitting to the left of the dealer is the first to have a turn. A player's turn begins by the player either drawing from the deck or drawing from the discard pile. Player 1 dealt, so player 2 chooses to draw the top card off the deck. After drawing a card, players can lay down only 1 meld per turn. Unlike other rummy games, in this version, usually every player is going to have a minimum of 1 meld to start with in their hand, so keep this in mind. You want to organize your cards immediately into melds forming a 3, 6, or 9 so you can plan your strategy. Sometimes a player is fortunate and will be dealt cards for all 3 required melds. which allows him or her to run out of cards in 3 turns. So keep this in mind when you're playing. There are 2 more advanced levels of play in Wisdom Rummy where this never occurs. But for this beginning level, be aware your opponent can go out really quick. Now continuing. Player 2 has a meld of 3, 1 of 6 in their hand, and chooses to lay down the meld of 3 and discards the 8. Player 1 selects a card from the stock and organizes their cards into melds and only has a 6. Player 1 chooses to lay down their meld of 6 and discards the 4 card in a way that all players can see all the cards in the discard pile. Play goes back to Player 2, who chooses a card from the stock. Player 2 decides to play a meld of 6 and discards an ace. The game's printable instructions have many suggestions for strategies to be aware of at all levels of this game. Now, Player 1 selects the ace from the discard pile and must play it in this turn in a meld. Player 1 plays a meld of 3 aces into the 3 pile, because that's the value of 1 plus 1 plus 1, and discards the 9 card. Since Player 1's meld is 3 of a kind, which is a wisdom number, Player 1 receives a coin from the bank immediately. Anytime you have a meld and you lay it down that is a wisdom number, you get a coin from the bank. Coins are kept in a player's possession all throughout the rounds of play until the game is over and can be used in any hand. Player 2 decides to draw from the stock and gets a 9. Player 2 just got a card they needed and can lay down a meld of 9 now. Player 2 has the required melds in the 3, 6, and 9 piles and has only 1 card left. So Player 2 places it on the discard pile to go out. This is the end of this hand. Now on to scoring. Player 2 gets to count their score first since they went out. Then the other players in a clockwise fashion will count their cards. The scoring for the cards is being shown on the screen. Pause if you need to. Player 2 has 100 points in their first meld. Then they have two 10s for 20 points and 3 cards, 5, 8, 9, that are 5 points each, totaling 15 points. So Player 2 has a total of 135 points, and their score is noted on the scoring sheet. Player 1 now counts their cards. Player 1 had a wisdom meld of 3 aces, and this is noted on the scoring sheet as shown. Each wisdom meld receives 37 extra points. Here is the chart of all the possible wisdom melds. This extra scoring of special melds is where the game gets its name. The game's printable instructions contain the background information on the math of this game. Now let's count the scoring of Player 1's melds. 2 jacks total 60. The 3 aces are 5 each for 15 for a total of 75. But now Player 1 had cards left in their hand and those must be subtracted. Player 1's hand contained 3 cards that were 5 points each, totaling 15 points. So 15 off the 75 leaves 60 left. So this is the score that is written on the scoring sheet and then added to their wisdom points. So Player 1's total score for this first round is 97. Now the next player to the left of the dealer will shuffle the cards and deal the next round of play. Play continues in the same fashion, hand after hand, until a player reaches 1,000 points. At the beginning level of this game, it usually takes between 5 to 7 hands to reach 1,000 points. The game does not take long, as the face cards are very valuable, and multiple face cards can be laid down in the same meld, so melds end up having a great value. The next 2 levels of play have rule changes that make it harder and harder to go out, and strategy becomes more and more important. This video gives the instructions for only the beginning level of play. See the printable instructions at our online store for rules and strategy for the next 2 levels of the game. Once you've mastered the math involved in this version of Rummy, this level of Rummy, advance to the next level. That wraps it up for how to play Wisdom 369 Rummy. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and check out our online shop with a custom deck of wisdom cards we created and downloadable scoring sheets and instructions for sale. Thanks for watching. All glory to the Most High Yah, creator of all things, who inspired this video from the math behind his creation and word. Have a wonderful day.